Got to Go Bold Season 2, Episode 4 with someone that I'm just so hyped to film with. Back in the day supporting Rimedi. How are you feeling? La Liga ambassador and an excellent football creator. How are you doing, mate?
Thanks for having me. This is a big honor for me. I'm first made my come up. The first ever video that I made that really got some traction was about FC Wonderkid. It was an impersonation of Alex. So hey, I'm happy. This is an honor for me. A huge
Hey.
privilege.
But to see the strives that you've gone through, like La Liga ambassador, you had a puberty podcast that you went bold with that Morocco prediction. I remember in the World Cup. That was
I
so bold at the time. Mate, you're doing an excellent job. And I'm sure the best things will come to you because you're consistent and you have discipline in terms of creation. But yes, like this video if you want to see more podcasts like this. And we're about to go bold with the first topic that it's going to be kind of a rant on my end too, Rimedi, as you can expect. The 442 top 50 managers ranking. And first things up, I want to say it's embarrassing that we have a top 50 ranking by 442 and I do not see Jose Mourinho in the names. I see Gary O'Neill, Kieran McKenna, Fernandinho. They're all better managers than Jose Mourinho. In my opinion, no. A manager that has won the Champions League, been at Real Madrid, been at Inter, been at Chelsea. You can say he's not what he used to be, Jose Mourinho, in his prime. I completely agree. But you cannot tell me that there's 49 managers better than Jose Mourinho currently in football. Do you agree with my first take here, Remedy?
Look. Jose Mourinho, he will always be in the top 30, top 50 lists. I don't know a bit more than that, but it has to be just a respect thing. If you're seeing names like Gary O'Neill, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's start calling out random names. Yeah, who's the coach of Maritimo? Huh? Let's start putting in random names.
But
Yeah.
Kieran McKenna, I do get it because he was like 2 times, like he went up in promotions and that's not easy. But still, like I was personally hearing this in Portugal, I got really mad about that.
One thing you see, and one thing especially with the English media, the English press, I know you probably see it in Portugal, but everyone English just gets overhyped. Like everyone from the Premier League, everyone from all of these countries that are working hard, like Jose Mourinho, like, okay, he's at Fenerbahce. Okay, maybe they're not doing so good right now, but obviously things take time.
Exactly.
Things take time, but we've seen what he's done with Roma, and for me, it's just a respect thing. It's just respect. Like you don't need to be Mourinho's biggest fan, but at least have him on the list.
And you remember when Daniel De Rossi took over Mourinho, people were saying, oh, Daniel De Rossi much better than Jose Mourinho. Look at him now. Okay? Because things happen for a reason and realism hits hard. Jose Mourinho, I'll say it once again, one of the most iconic managers in football. Jose Mourinho is the special one for a reason. And when he arrived in the Premier League at Chelsea from Porto, I have no doubts in my mind he was the best manager in the world at that time. And Sir Alex Ferguson felt that a rivalry would start from then, and it really did. 9 years unbeaten in the league. That record is going to be unbeaten until I die, in my opinion. About that, okay? About
No,
that.
for sure. No, go on.
But with the 442 ranking, the top 5 here, Remedy, just giving a top 5 for the people. The top 5 coaches in the world of football for 442, they have Inzaghi in 5th, Arteta in 4th, Xabi Alonso in 3rd, 2nd Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola in 1st. I don't disagree with the top 3, but I disagree with the 4th and 5th. What are your thoughts about that?
For me, I disagree with number 2. Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti. Look, Carlo Ancelotti should not be the second best manager in the world. That's look, that's just my opinion. Maybe top 5. Top 5, I totally
So
understand.
who would you put behind Pep Guardiola in the second? For me, it's Ancelotti, Remedy.
Yeah, look, Ancelotti, again, it's a respect thing. He's won the Champions League, he's won La Liga. So, yes, on paper, you have to put him there. But please, when you watch Real Madrid right now, please, when we watch Real Madrid, it's like,
There's no Tony Kroos.
of
It's
course,
hard.
it's hard, of course, but there's another way. When we watch Real Madrid right now, especially, it's like every time I watch Real Madrid, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. Like I went to Gran Canaria, I watched Las Palmas versus Real Madrid. You would think Real Madrid would dominate. You think Real Madrid would win the game, but Las Palmas should have won. Las Palmas created better chances. Las Palmas did more, and especially in
Hmm.
the Champions League. Look, maybe this is just a Real Madrid thing, and I personally just can't say Ancelotti right now is the second best. Yes, he's won everything, but I just can't. I
I
just
put
can't.
him in that second best. Just wanted to say that. If I were to do my top five, my top five, I think Jurgen Klopp, even though he's not managing, he's still one of the best managers in the world of football. And what do you think about this if I say that Unai Emery is a better manager overall than Mikel Arteta? What do you think about that, Remedy?
Look, you're talking to Mikel Arteta's biggest fan here, okay? The problem is with Unai Emery, I understand the argument that people say he's a better manager than Mikel Arteta because
Hmm.
he's been coaching longer, he has better results, he's won more trophies. But when Unai Emery joined Arsenal,
Hmm.
look,
Did he
it's the
have
proof.
Edu Gaspar?
He didn't. He didn't. But he had another. To be fair, he did have Edu for a few months.
Okay.
I don't think Edu was up to speed yet with Unai Emery, but he did have another well-renowned sporting director in. I believe his name is Sven Mislintat. And of
Hmm.
course, the strategy wasn't there, the ideas weren't there. But when I watched Unai Emery coach Arsenal, I fell out of love with football. I fell out of love. I couldn't watch Arsenal. I couldn't enjoy Arsenal anymore. And with Mikel
I
Arteta,
understand that.
he's brought back the feeling in me. And you might say trophies this and trophies that, but if a manager has brought me closer to a football club,
Hmm.
he's for me he's the best in the world after Pep. Maybe I'm just a deluded Arsenal fan.
Ooh!
Maybe I'm
So
just a
you
deluded.
put Arteta ahead of Xabi Alonso? If
Yes,
you were to, ooh, that's
so
bold,
sure,
Remedy.
hundred
So
percent.
sure. I'm
Um,
not sure about that. I'm
Look,
not sure about that. Even with a striker, Mikel Arteta, with this Arsenal team, I don't think he can go unbeaten in 51 games.
no,
And
okay,
I know it was with Europa League. I understand that. But still,
okay.
European competitions.
Big respect to Xabi Alonso because he was able to do something that no other coach has done before. Big respect. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to look at the pressure. You have to look at where he's coaching. It's the Bundesliga. The
Mm-hmm.
Bundesliga, in terms of the strength, if you look at compared to the Premier League, every team in the Premier League can hurt someone. In the Bundesliga, look, it's a top league, but it's not the strength and the size of the Premier League.
I
But
agree.
I understand Xabi Alonso. He could be in the conversation. He could be a better coach than Mikel Arteta. I have no problem with that. But like I mentioned to you, you're talking to a deluded Mikel Arteta fan.
So, just getting this out of my chest, my top five best managers in football, having in my mind what happened last season too, I put fifth Unai Emery. Since 1982, Aston Villa wouldn't go to the Champions League and getting top four with Monchi. That's a masterclass duo, in my opinion. Then I put Simone Inzaghi fourth, Xabi Alonso third, Ancelotti second, and Pep Guardiola first. But I completely agree with the statement of Rimedi saying that Real Madrid do not look the same this season, and I think that's a consequence of not having Toni Kroos. What would be your top five in this sense? Like, is there any manager here that you're like, no, Inzaghi, I wouldn't put him in the top five. Xabi Alonso, I wouldn't put him in the top five managers.
To be fair, on my list, it's pretty similar. I would say it's the same names, but it's just a different order in my eyes. Okay, so
Mm.
number one, obviously Pep. Big respect. You cannot say
Mm-hmm.
anything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
again, being very deluded here, very biased here. I put Arteta number two. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's my bias. Number three, I go for Xabi Alonso. That's
Understand?
who I go number three. Number four, okay, Ancelotti. You can take number four. And number five, we go for Simone Inzaghi.
Nice, nice. And both of us respect a lot what Simone Inzaghi and Xabi Alonso are doing in football. Why? Because the best stars in their teams, they want to stay with them. Let's look at Leverkusen. Wirtz stayed, Grimaldo stayed, Xhaka stayed, Boniface stayed, Frimpong even stayed that he had a low release clause. And if you see on the other end with Inzaghi at Inter, Lautaro stays, Barella stays, Di Marco stays, Bastoni stays. The best players want to play with him. So that's why they mandatory Xabi Alonso and Inzaghi have to be in the top five list of best managers in the world because the best players want to work with them. Do you agree with this statement, Rimedi?
Yeah, I would say so. I think one of the biggest things is that, look, in the world of European football right now, not every team has money like the Premier League. Okay.
True.
So when you're looking at, I don't know, a Thuram or a Lautaro Martinez, if the Premier League doesn't come calling with all of this money thrown their way, where do they
Mm-hmm.
go? And
Exactly.
and they think the project for them is the best project for them to really achieve success, and they already have achieved success so far.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what Jacques has done. He left Arsenal second place in the Premier League. He joins Leverkusen. He has one of the best seasons of his life.
For sure.
You look at someone like Boniface. Again, he's
Mm-hmm.
gone to a new level. You're looking at Grimaldo, a new level. You saw him
From
week
St.
in, week out.
Gilles Boniface. Like, really surprising what he did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you saw Grimaldo week in, week out at Benfica. And now you're seeing him at another level for Leverkusen on a bigger stage, in a more pressured environment. So,
Mm-hmm.
no, big respect to those managers.
And Grimaldo's now playing with three center backs at the back. And I remember when he first arrived at Benfica back in the day, Grimaldo would be very criticized for his defensive capabilities. He would be not as good in defense as he would be offensively. Because at Benfica, they would play with four at the back. And many times he would be exposed. So to see his development as a player, kudos to Grimaldo. He's definitely one of the best left wing backs in the world at Leverkusen in football currently. But if just making here a challenge, Rimedi, we didn't mention young managers that could be in the top 5 in 3 to 5 years to come. Do you believe we will see a Thiago Motta, a Nagelsmann, a Ruben Amorim, or even a Fabian Hurtzler of Brighton in the top 5 list of best managers in football?
Absolutely. I have Arsenal as my main team, but my side team is Juventus. And what I've liked so far this season from Thiago Motta has been really, really interesting. Like he's bringing the youth, he's bringing the kind of the winning mentality back to the club, and is bringing that feeling back. So
The clean
Juventus,
sheets.
of course, and in recent seasons, Juventus haven't been so good. So, and this
Mm-hmm.
season they're back at the top, challenging with Inter, trying to go bold, as you like to say. So, so look, I think Juventus is super interesting. The
So
project
you
going on
think
there.
Thiago Motta will be a top 5 manager in the future?
Absolutely, absolutely. Give it 2 years, I think he'll be there. Maybe Ancelotti comes out, but of course
Koopmeiners
you.
is convinced. Koopmeiners is a great
Absolutely,
move. And Kalulu, too. One of the biggest slept moves in the summer transfer window. Kalulu. He's
Absolutely.
changed that defense. And now with Bremer out, Kalulu will gain importance. And Andrea Cambiasso. If you do not know about Andrea Cambiasso by now, you're sleeping under a rock. Please watch Juve play. And Cambiasso balling out. Alexandro left for a reason.
Hey, you forgot about one man, the Turkish legend, the Turkish
Kenan
goat,
Yildiz.
Kenan Yildiz. Wow, when you watch this
19.
guy, he plays like he's 30. He's that good. He's like Turkey, like maybe we'll speak about this at another time, but Turkey have a really golden generation coming through right now. So it's really interesting to see the project there as well.
It's Göksu, it's Kenan Yildiz, it's
Arda Güler.
Arda Güler, Semi Kiliçoy at
Yes.
Besiktas too. Mustafa also at Besiktas, quite a good youngster. The
And,
list of names.
And in the Premier League, Ferdi, Karioglu, he's
What a buy from Brighton. One of the best left backs in Euro 2024.
Absolutely.
Ferdi Kadioglu. Interesting. I mentioned him briefly with the young managers that could be in the top 5. And wait, before I get to that, where do you think Xabi Alonso is going next? Out of curiosity. It's very early, but where would you like to see him next? Sorry, Xabi Alonso.
I want to see Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid. Look, with I think he's probably going to be one of the first managers in a very long time to kind of implement a strong playing style. With Ancelotti, with Zidane, it was just trying to get the best out of the team and trying to get a lot of balance. But when it comes to Xabi Alonso, we are finally going to be seeing real possession, real style of play. And now all the Real Madrid fans are going to come to me. They're going to send hate comments like, we win everything.
No. He's a legend.
We win everything. We won the Champions League, we won La Liga, but for me, I just haven't enjoyed it. So Xabi Alonso, the football that he plays, is going to be something super interesting.
I think City is also one of those teams that if Pep Guardiola does leave, Xabi Alonso is one of the prime candidates next to Ruben Amorim, because if you don't know, Hugo Viana is going to be the sporting director of Man City next season. He's currently the sporting director of Sporting. So very interesting. And another question on that sense is if Xabi Alonso goes to Real Madrid, Real plays with 3 center backs at the back, possibly or no? Do you believe he would adapt his style of play to have four?
No, of course. I think it just depends on maybe the injuries at the time, because I don't know what it is with Real Madrid, but they get so many injuries. Like Carvajal, ACL,
ACLs, mate.
Courtois,
Yeah.
he recently
Courtois,
came back from an
Alaba.
ACL, Militao with another
True.
injury. So we're looking at a team that gets a lot of injuries. So I think it will be something that works and kind of suits the system as they go along.
True. And makes sense. And if you look at Real Madrid, a lot of players say Método Pintos, Antonio Pintos, the conditioning coach. The guy's
sure.
mad. He's bold, and he's really bold in training sessions. So
Absolutely.
that's amazing. But just giving a special focus, last thing on the 4-4-2 list, I like and I understand Ruben Amorim being in the 11th spot. I understand Ruben Amorim being in the 11th spot for 4-4-2's best managers in football, and Antonio Conte being on the 12th, going bold for Napoli. But what Ruben is doing for Sporting is historic. I had never seen Sporting win a league title. Never. With Ruben in 4 years, I've seen him win 2. And if Sporting wins the league title this season, it will be the first time in 70 years that Sporting wins 2 league titles consecutively. And it's not just Victor Gyökeres. It's Martin Wilman that is the captain in the second season. It's a young defense with Diomande, Debas, Eduardo Quaresma, Kenda, and Jenny Catamu playing on the wings. Like, he's revolutionized this club, and it's amazing to see what he's doing for Portuguese football. Ruben Amorim is currently the best Portuguese manager in football, no doubt in my mind. I'd put Marco Silva, Abel Ferreira, Ruben Amorim, the top 3 currently, and obviously the iconic Jose Mourinho. He can always return when he has a sporting director supporting him. That's what I gotta say. Remember at the time, he asked United, get me Luis Campos. I need Luis Campos to back me with these transfers. And United said, no, can do. Imagine Unai Emery without Monchi. That's the only thing I've got to say about that. He wouldn't be the same manager.
100%, 100%. It's the relationships that you need in Manchester United. They couldn't give it to him.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't Ralph Ragnick stay? Why didn't Ralph Ragnick stay as a sporting director with United? Oh, my days. Oh, this is a whole different conversation. But let us know. Who is in your top 5 managers in football currently? Do you agree with me with 4-4-2 not putting Jose Mourinho being embarrassed? Let us know in the comment section. But since we're talking about managers, a manager that would finish 10th for 4-4-2 in the best list, a manager that, surprisingly for me, I've seen him getting loads of backlash in the English media, and the Daily Mail, the cover of the Daily Mail said, a dark day for England. So you mean to say it's a dark day for England when you appoint a manager that he went to Chelsea and he won them a Champions League in 3 months? It's a dark day for England to appoint a quality manager like this. I cannot understand what the English fans or the English media in this sense is saying about the appointment of Thomas Tuchel. What are your thoughts about this, Rimedi?
Look, if England went to sign Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola, I promise you there would be none of this backlash. Okay, here's the thing. When the media, they just like to spin things, and now there's automatically hate on Thomas Tuchel when there doesn't need to be.
Mad. Carragher would never say what he said about Thomas Tuchel if Pep Guardiola was the manager. I was saying Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, seriously, stay in your lane. Seriously, like, Thomas Tuchel is a world-class manager at the highest level. Yes, at Bayern Munich it didn't go well, but I get the same feeling with England. Or it's going to go extremely well, or it's going to go extremely badly. But I feel he's going to have the support of Harry Kane, and he's going to have the support of this locker room. How are you feeling with it?
No, look. I live in England. I lived in England most of my life. Look, I'm excited with Thomas Tuchel. Like, I've heard an interview from Mikel Arteta saying the Arsenal English players are really, really excited because it's a new style. It's a new winning mentality that he's bringing to the country. Like, they had Fabio Capello in the past. Yes, maybe it wasn't so good. And then Roy Hodgson and then Gareth Southgate. Look, for me, the idea, I understand. Look, the English manager needs to be English. Fine, fair enough. But when you look at the English manager list and the roster of English managers, tell me, who is better than Thomas Tuchel? These guys would prefer, these guys would prefer someone from League One or League Two, but they're English, as opposed to someone who's a serial winner in Thomas
Exactly.
Tuchel and the winning mentality that he brings to the country. So
I'd
it's
say
easy.
Graham Potter is the only one that I'd be like, okay, that's a nice appointment, better than Lee Carsley and Southgate. Maybe, because yes, I think Gareth Southgate is overhated, honestly, for what he did for England. Like, if you look at English generations before Gareth Southgate or 10 years ago, there was extreme rivalries. People didn't get on with each other. And there's a feeling of patriotism. There's a feeling of, I want to help my colleague with this. I want the best for him too, even though he plays for my rivals. Like, there's no more this grudge for success on the other end, even though they're in the same team. So I think Southgate was very important for that. But Thomas Tuchel, to see a dark day for England, honestly, Daily Mail, you did what you had to do to sell more. To sell more newspapers. That's honestly the thought process I have for seeing a cover like that. And I'm sorry for him to even get this backlash, because he doesn't deserve this. But just wanted to ask you, so Rimedi, if Thomas Tuchel is gonna win the World Cup, I think it's with this team. 3 at the back, Pickford in goal, Levi Colville, Stones, Walker, 3 center backs, Saka doing the full left side, Trent doing the full right side, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham in the middle, with Kobe Mainu being an option, and then behind Harry Kane as striker, Cole Palmer at the right, and at the left, Phil Foden or Jadon Sancho. Would this team win a World Cup, in your thoughts?
When you said Kyle Walker, I said no. I don't want to. Look,
You
look,
don't think
Kyle.
he'll go right center back?
No. Look, Kyle Walker, especially right now, when you watch the guy play football, it's like he's drunk. Look, defensively, right now, Kyle Walker is not the best. People, even the recovery speed, the thing that everyone loves about Kyle
Oh,
Walker,
he's worse than Rico Lewis, no doubt.
he's
Not right
losing it.
now.
He's
Rico
losing the
Lewis
speed.
is better than Kyle Walker. But in a right center back type of sense, you wouldn't think he would work?
Especially so the World Cup 2026. So he's going to be a year and a half older, almost 2 years older, and we're already seeing the decline now. 2 years before that. So for me, Kyle Walker, he cannot make the World Cup squad, and the only way he can is if he improves the level that he's currently at, because he's becoming a strong liability for Manchester City. And all of the fans that I've seen on social media, they're saying Kyle Walker, Saudi Arabia time.
He did get that proposal, and I think Pep Guardiola was very important for both Bernard Silva and Kyle Walker staying at Man City. He refused him leaving, and they got an extension. And I believe it's because Walker is one of the leaders in that back room.
Of course. I think, of course, from a leadership point of view, Kyle Walker is very important. But when you come to start for England, especially where England are going to be, nah, Kyle Walker, not for me. Not for
I
me.
love it. Love it. So, who would you believe is going to be the best player under Thomas Tuchel with England? And you can't say Mason Mount because he's not playing.
No, I say, look, Cole Palmer is someone I'm looking at a lot. We might come up to him a bit later on in this episode, but Cole Palmer, he could be in that little free role. I really like him. He can be a really good player for England. For me, again, Saka, we've seen it for England so far. He's always stands up in the big moments. He's there for England. Jude Bellingham, wow, what a player. Declan Rice, great defensive midfielder. So there's players, there's a spine for Thomas Tuchel. Now it's time to execute.
Understand. And I agree with what you just said. Let us know down below your thoughts about Thomas Tuchel. Do you agree with the team I proposed? Do you disagree? Let us know. D11, do you think that Thomas Tuchel will be playing? Go bold in the comment section and like this video if you're listening until now, people. Come on. This is being so enjoyable, Remedy, mate. It's like we've known each other for so long.
I
Man.
know.
I feel the vibe.
It's comfortable. It's comfortable. It's nice. I could put my pajamas on. I can take a cigar. It's nice.
I feel at home. I love
Yes,
it.
I'm at
I love
home.
it. Mate, but so you hinted about this topic, and with Cole Palmer, I think Cole Palmer is the best player in the Premier League currently. Do you agree with this statement?
No.
Erling Haaland?
Yes, for me, Erling Haaland is always number one. But there's been a good debate this season about Saka and Palmer. Foden, he hasn't really played too many games, but there's been a strong debate.
So wait. So I think Cole Palmer is a better player than Saka. You say Saka is better than Palmer?
Yes, I do.
Explain me why.
Okay, the reason why I think Bukayo Saka is a better player than Cole Palmer is because Saka has been doing it for longer. Look,
True.
Saka, he came into the Arsenal team 19 years old. It's been his team since he was 19 and he's now just turned 23.
And he's
That's
played
4
left back.
years. He's
Mm-hmm.
played all over the pitch and yet he still goes and improves yet another level. When it comes to teams playing against Arsenal, everyone wants to sit back, everyone wants to defend deep, everyone wants to park the bus like Jose Mourinho. But Bukayo Saka always finds a way. And Cole Palmer, maybe he'll be better than Saka one day. But right now, it's
One
too early.
day. I
Maybe,
think
maybe.
I think he's right now, mate. I think, and you can ask me why is he right now? Because
Yeah.
like I look at this Chelsea team, Enzo Maresca, the appointment of Enzo Maresca, even that was nominated the manager of the month the last month. I see it and I say the influence that Cole Palmer is having in a year and 2 months is one of the most impactful players I've seen in the Premier League in the last few years, especially for a player that's still under 22. I understand your statement with Saka's importance for Arsenal. I think Bukayo Saka for Arsenal is the most impactful player in the Arteta era, behind the Odegaard. And then a Saliba that we see right now is one of the best center backs in the world of football. And Saka has more than 60 goals and more than 60 assists and more than 200 games for Arsenal too. He's a legend in the making. But I really feel with Cole Palmer, there's a Ballon d'Or potential right there. There's a Ballon d'Or potential right there. And the first touch, the decision-making, the finishing, the ruthlessness, and the confidence that Cole Palmer has in his mind. Why did he take so many of those free kicks? No. Why did Cole Palmer, since he arrived at Chelsea, he takes all those pens? Why? Because in his mind, he will never miss. And in his mind, he's the best player in the world in his position. I find Pep Guardiola, that's one of the biggest mistakes in the last 3 to 5 years in football that he's made. I really believe that.
No, absolutely. For me, no, I love Cole Palmer. I remember the pass that he did a few weeks ago to Nicholas Jackson where it just went so high in the air and it landed right at Nicholas Jackson's feet. It
And
was a beautiful.
Moratu against Forest, the first touch. Like,
It's,
how did he do that?
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Cole Palmer, top player. But for me, I want to see Chelsea improve to the level where they're top of the league regularly. Then I want to put players in the conversation for the best players in the league.
So going with that, what would be your top 4 prediction for the end of this season? We're still in October, people, okay? It's hard for anyone, and I challenge you to comment down below and to put your top 4. So Rimedi, what would be your top 4 for the Premier League next season? This season,
Okay.
sorry.
Number 4, we're going to go with Chelsea. I've really liked Chelsea so far this season. They've been strong start to the season.
I agree.
Number 3, I'm going to go for Liverpool. Look, Arne Slot, he's come into the team. He's done really well. But I just don't think Liverpool are on the level of the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I'm going to go for Manchester City. Look, City.
Number 1, Arsenal.
Number 1, we are winning it all. Give me the trophy right now. We're going to be doing Yeah, no. Look.
Is it the Rodri out that's making you so confident? You see Rodri out for this season, you automatically think Arsenal's going to win the league?
For sure. I think for me, when I watched Rodri last season, I think he was operating as one of the best players in the world, if not the best player, full
Top
stop.
3. Top 3,
100%. I think Rodri was so good last season, and the impact that he had on Manchester City last season, when he didn't play, Manchester City didn't win a game. That's insane.
True.
So
Just
this
with Kobe
season,
Mino. Just against Kobe Mino in the FA Cup.
okay, that's a good one.
That was the only game that Rodri lost in like so many,
60,
like 70
yeah,
games
70,
or
something
60,
like that.
Something mad.
Yeah, but when it comes to this season so far, Manchester City without Rodri, since he's not been in the team, they've not really looked so good against Newcastle.
True.
In their most recent game, they didn't look so comfortable as well against Fulham. So, look, for me, Manchester City, I think Arsenal have improved as well. Look, they're a year older, year stronger, year wiser. And maybe, again, I'm just a deluded Arsenal fan, but I think this is the year for Arsenal to win the Premier League.
But what if, just proposing this imagine Remedy, okay, that Liverpool finish second or finish first and City imagine the top 2 is with Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal finished third. What do you think happens with Arteta?
You want me to say I want Mikel Arteta out of this club, but no.
No, I just realistically want you to say like how you think about Arteta if he doesn't get top two.
For me, if he doesn't get top two, it's going to be a big embarrassment of our season, especially with where we came in. We spent some good money this summer as well. But for me, let's say Arteta goes. Let's say we say goodbye. Let's say we say ciao to Mikel Arteta. For me, there's not really other managers in the world that I think about that can say, look, he's going to come in, he's going to take the job easy, easy, easy. So it's tough.
Would you accept Simone Inzaghi going to Arsenal to replace Arteta?
Absolutely
Or Xabi
not.
Alonso to Arsenal to replace Arteta?
Maybe, but then it just depends on Alonso because Alonso is going to have so many clubs. But we're talking too negative here. Arsenal are winning the Premier League. Let's draw the line. We draw the
You know why? And this is something, I had the stats here in front of me. If Arsenal had Mikel Merino performing as a top player in the Premier League right now, next to Declan Rice, not something that Thomas Partey can do on a regular basis because of injury, I would be speaking a whole different manner. But if Arsenal had a Victor Gyökeres in their team to be the top goal scorer in the Premier League, or at least competing with Erling Haaland, like I would be talking much differently about this Arsenal season. Victor Gyökeres this season in goal involvements is 22 goal involvements for club and country, and just for Sporting, 12 goals, 3 assists in 15 games. The impact is immense, and I've watched Portuguese football for all my life, and I've never seen a player as impactful as Victor Gyökeres in his first season, and now in 2 months, he's undoubtedly the best player in the league continuously. And Ruben Amorim is the manager that convinces a player like this to stay at the club and make history in the Champions League. Because yes, it's his first Champions League campaign ever too. Victor Gyökeres. Wanted to give that heads up. Do you think that Victor Gyökeres would make you guys even more title contenders if it happens? And do you think that Victor Gyökeres will leave for 100 million price tag?
Okay, look, I think 100 million, you have to look at the teams that can afford 100 million. So we're looking at City, Arsenal, not sure about Liverpool, United, yes, Real Madrid, Barcelona. So
Barca's going to afford the 100 million, mate. Barca, this is something that I've had many debates with people. Barca with this new Camp Nou, they have to have it full. They have to have it full. And I know Barca fans, Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya, they're 100% very supportive. But if you have an Erling Haaland in that stadium, people are going to travel to watch every single game if possible. Do you think I think they're going to get a big star. I think
so.
Barca's getting a big star.
No, I think so too. Eventually, yes. I think Erling Haaland, if we speak about him, there were some reports that came out today saying that, look, Barcelona might be his next club. That's what the reports were saying in 2 or 3 years' time. I would love to see that transfer move. I would love to see Erling Haaland against Mbappe in the same league. Imagine that. It would be like the old Nike adverts.
You say Haaland Mbappe, I say Mbappe Lamine Yamal.
Yes, I agree with that. I love Lamine Yamal. I mean, a top winger.
And
But
that's the thing. Erling Haaland goes to Barca. I don't believe he's the Ballon d'Or contender. I think it's Lamine Yamal for the talent level.
But imagine Lamine Yamal playing those crosses to Erling Haaland. Game over. It's done.
How many assists does this guy have? Like
40.
He's one of the leaders in assists in 2024 currently. At the age of 17, with 18, 19, 20, with Erling Haaland next to him, it's a cheat code. It's an absolute cheat code.
Absolutely. And like La Masia right now, they're having a very strong period of all of the youth players coming in. Kubase, Torre, Lamine Yamal, we're talking Fermin. And then you forget about Pedri and Gavi, who've been there for so long as well.
Balde, we forget about him too, that he was injured.
Come on,
look. Fernandez, remember this name, midfielder. And he's got a cousin that's Tony Fernandez, right, too? That he's a fullback? That's a mad thing. Imagine playing with your cousin, and both of you are Wonderkids, and one of the best academy in football, La Masia. You agree with me with this?
In the history of the game.
The top 4, so that was very interesting to see. Top 4, though, we both agree that no specific order of the top 4 in the Premier League. We both agree that's going to be Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Interesting enough with that. Let us know down below if you agree with this statement. And something I have, before we should get to this. The best Premier League level until now for both of us. It's a bit of a challenge. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts about who should be in the 11. I'll start by saying the best Premier League 11 until now. For me, I have David Raya in goal. I've got Guardiola at left back, Saliba, Gabriel, Trent in defense. Then in midfield, I put Gravenberch, Declan Rice, and Cole Palmer. And my front three with Luis Diaz, Erling Haaland, and Bukayo Saka. This is my best Premier League team until now. And it's mad that I put Gravenberch. If you spoke to me a year ago, I would say, look, what? What happened? What happened for that to happen? And the answer is Arne Slot happened in the life of Gravenberch. It's mad.
He's had a top season so far, which is why when Liverpool they do well this season, Gravenberch big part to play in it.
Completely agree. He's one of the best midfielders in the league in form right now.
Absolutely. Here is my Premier League team of the season so far. So in goal, I've gone for David Raya. At right back, I've gone for Rico Lewis. I think he's had a really good season so far. Trent, he was almost there, but I had to give some love to Rico Lewis. My two central defenders, I'm going to go for Van Dijk and I'm going to go for Gabriel. Saliba, look, I think Saliba, he's always going to be there. At the team of the season, he's going to be there. But for now, I have to give Gabriel his flowers. And I think Van Dijk has been amazing. At left back, I'm going to go for Anthony Robinson from Fulham. He's had a great start to the season. The midfield three is going to be Gravenberch, Caicedo. I think he's had a great start to the season. And Cole Palmer. No Arsenal players in there. On the right, Bukayo Saka. On the left, Luis Diaz. And up top, Erling Haaland. We agreed. When I heard Luis Diaz, I say we're on the same page.
Mate, but no Saliba, mate. I'm the Arsenal fan here. With Saliba and Gabriel. Wait, I'm not going to say I'm shook. But I understand that respect. And you mentioned Virgil van Dijk. I'd say Konate, maybe there's an argument that he's been the best center back until now this season.
Yeah, Konate has been good, but I can't look past Van Dijk. I feel like since last season, this season he's gone up with a new level. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's another Dutch coach. They're speaking the same language now, but I don't know. Van Dijk, we have to give him respect. He's still there.
And the best super sub that we could pick is who? John
Duran.
If we have a super sub in this Premier League 11 team,
yes,
it's got to be him. What a signing he was for Villa. And Villa getting this extension until 2030 with John Duran is an excellent move. He's got the potential to be one of the best strikers in football. He's going to be the striker of Colombia. And Aston Villa, by getting this signature, they're guaranteeing their present and future. This is a very good move from them. I was very surprised, personally, for them to get that extension.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it looked like this summer that he was going to leave. I remember he did something like this.
Villa fans.
Yeah.
The West Ham, yes.
West
the
Ham,
Hammers.
yes. He did something like this. But no, I'd say John Duran, maybe he's found a new home. He's found a new agreement with Unai Emery, with Monchi. 2030 is a big contract as well. So if he was to leave the club, they're going to get a big fee for him as well.
Exactly.
So it's a really good move from Aston Villa.
And the last questions on the Premier League hand with you, Rimedi, here. It's what's next for Pep Guardiola? Will he stay at Man City, in your opinion?
Look, I think Pep Guardiola, maybe 1 or 2 more years he stays. I think he stays 1 or 2 more years, but then I don't know what he does. Maybe he goes to Brazil. Maybe he goes to maybe Brazil. Something like that. I would love that.
Mate. And I didn't say this. Like the English fans that were saying Brazil national team has never had a non-Brazilian manager. Look at Brazil right now. Are they an example to follow currently? No. So if they got Pep Guardiola, or what they were hinting for a year and a half to get Carlo Ancelotti, and it didn't happen, that would change the Brasileirão and the Brazilian national team, because the league would reflect upon this move too. Oi, that's a bold suggestion, mate. Oi, Pep Guardiola with Brazil. That man would love that lifestyle. He would love it 100%.
Hey, and if Pep Guardiola doesn't want to be the Brazil manager, it's me. I want to be the Brazil manager. Hey.
Look, I think Jorge Jesus should be the Brazil manager.
Of course.
For what he did at Flamengo, for what he's doing at Al Hilal. Look at Neymar this season, okay? Neymar is going to return now. I know he's got less than 1 year left in his contract with Al Hilal, but come on, Neymar. Do not leave on a bad way with Al Hilal and make history in the Saudi Pro League with Jesus. I'm sure that's a possibility that can happen. And with the Prem too, before I get to United, I want to ask you too. I ask you if Pep Guardiola is going to leave. What about Trent? How are you feeling about Trent Alexander-Arnold? If Liverpool get an offer, a big offer, above 30 million in January for Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid, do you think they should sell?
For the ego, no. I think you cannot accept. If Trent goes, I don't think you can accept a fee for him. You can, because from the Liverpool side, imagine from the PR side, you cannot
He's
accept that
irreplaceable.
money. He's irreplaceable. So if you say and you try and keep him until the summer, the Liverpool board, the sporting director, they can say, we tried everything to keep Trent Alexander-Arnold. But if they sell Trent in January, it's not looking good for the Liverpool fans because they're going to throw so much abuse to the club. Why did you let him go? Why didn't you give him a chance? Why didn't you try? But for me, as a fan of football, I would love to see Trent at Real Madrid. It would be beautiful.
Mate, the expectations is like Real Madrid have a real chance with the with two players with less of a year contract, Alphonso Davies and Trent Alexander-Arnold. If Real Madrid manage to get that done, if they get that done, world football is broken. Is broken. Like I really that it would be absolutely insane if that happens. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, even though if he leaves in January Real Madrid, he will leave as a legend, a player that has won a Premier League title, a player that has won a Champions League. He's been in a final and didn't win historic final against Real Madrid, and he's got more than 100 goal involvements with Liverpool, and he's been 9 years at the top of the game with Liverpool since the age of 17 with Jurgen Klopp. So that's a big achievement for Klopp to have trusted an academy player and to go to the levels that he's achieved in his career. Best right back ever in Premier League history, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rimedi?
I want to say yes, but you need to wait to the end of the career or later towards the end because some people now they still say Gary Neville from the old days. They say Kyle Walker from the new school. So look, it just depends. If Trent stays at Liverpool for his whole career, easy Trent because he has the most talent.
Oh, yeah.
But aside from that,
100%.
maybe we go for
Neville can't do what Trent does. Like,
Can
and
anybody?
You can say Trent was a midfielder that then was transitioned to right back, but like in defensively, Neville was much better than Trent. But right now, I think that's just one of those cheap arguments that people use because Trent ain't that bad defensively currently, and people just say, "Oh, he's bad defensively. That's why he's not a good right back." Sorry. Bad defensively. Like, if you see him play, he's not that bad. If you play against Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, everybody looks bad defensively, mate. Come on. So, like, it's different. It's difficult to lock in a player like that. Do you agree with my statement here?
I'm going to go bold. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is currently a better defender than Kyle Walker. It's very easy. It's very easy to see with your eyes. It's very easy to understand. When you look at the distances, when you look at marking the second post, it has to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. And
Do
people
you think Rico Lewis is also better than Kyle Walker currently defensively?
and anybody's better than Kyle Walker right now defensively.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey.
Look, I just feel like Kyle Walker right now, he's just fallen off a cliff. Look, for me, Saudi, look, all of those countries, they're there for him. But he needs to come back to the top level.
I get you. And last thing on the Premier League, it's what's the solution for Man United in your mind, Rimedi? What needs to happen?
Eric Ten Hag needs to leave Manchester United yesterday. They need to sack him yesterday. Yeah. When it comes to Ten Hag, I don't know what they're waiting for. It's like a really toxic relationship and they say, "Oh, we're going to get back together. We're not going to get back together." Look, toxic relationships never last and this one feels like a toxic one.
And they spend 60 million on Mason Mount. They spend 40 million on Xerxes. They spend 60 million too on Rasmus Højlund. Not bad players, but when they come in, their value is not going up. It's decreasing by the week. Even Anthony's the best example. How much money will Man United get for Anthony? I'll be surprised if they get more than 30 million. Harry Maguire, will he even be sold for more than 20 million maybe? Because that man is earning 195,000 a week in pounds. Not in euros, in pounds, mate. It's mad. It's mad. And look, when you look at Sancho, he improved Jadon Sancho the last 2 years, but he improved outside of Man United. It's a challenge I do for the people at home. Name me one player, not named Yogdalo, that has improved under Erik ten Hag. Onana was a Champions League finalist before he went to United. That's not a valid answer in my view. Martinez better, Mason Mount better, Xerxes better, Bruno Fernandes better. For sure, not better. Bruno Fernandes is in his worst time in his career currently, in my opinion, in his last 3 years. Do you also agree with that statement?
Totally agree. I think Bruno Fernandes right now, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the captaincy. I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if it's the manager. But everything right now at Manchester United is not working. You speak about the transfer values. Surely the people at Ineos, they like cutting costs. They like saving money. They got rid of Sir Alex Ferguson.
Jeez.
From a business decision, they are looking at the value of all of their expensive assets go down.
Exactly.
So at the moment, it has to be the time to rip off the plaster, rip off the Band-Aid, and just call it a day. Erik ten Hag, thank you for your winning the trophies. It's done.
And if you look at Lenny Yoro, if you look at De Ligt, if you look at Kobe Mino, if you look at Garnacho, their value is not going to go to their full potential with Erik ten Hag. But it could maybe go with Edin Terzic. It could maybe go with Thomas Frank. That is a better solution than ten Hag. But the best solution possible, I have no doubts in my mind. It's Ruben Amorim. It's Ruben Amorim. He's the best solution possible for Man United to achieve success in 2 to 3 years' time. It's not going to be immediate, and it's unrealistic for Man United fans to think immediately they'll achieve success. But it will be shorter than it would be with other managers with Ruben Amorim. I really believe that will be the case. But let us know in the comment section if you agree with our thoughts here with the Premier League and Man United. Oh, this is being so enjoyable. Last in here, in the last part of the podcast here in the outro, we always have a question of the podcast. I've been asking and I've been squeezing it. I'm going to squeeze it again. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is going to score 1,000 goals, Rimedi?
No, I wish.
First no in season 2, Rimedi. No! Come on.
I wish.
How can you doubt this man?
I wish, but look, I like to be someone who's different. I like to be someone against what the common opinion is. And for me, look, Cristiano Ronaldo, he is a legend of the game, one of the best players to ever kick a football. But he turns 40 in February. He's getting older. And he needs how many goals? Like 80?
He needs 94 goals.
Okay, 94 goals in how long?
I think he can score 2 years. Until 2026, he's got to score 94 goals.
So that's 47 this season, and 47 next season when he turns 41.
Exactly.
For me, I just can't see it. I physically cannot see it. I really want it to happen. I want it to happen so bad, but it's unrealistic.
He's the top goal scorer in football if you count calendar years since 2023. Right now. So, and I do think, I don't know if it's true or not, but the Gerd Müller Award is not going to happen in the Ballon d'Or this season. Why is that? Lewandowski got it. Erling Haaland got it when they were the top goal scorer in the calendar year. Why isn't Cristiano Ronaldo getting the same treatment? It's weird. It's weird, and I think he's hated for being too good. Honestly, in my point of view. But yeah, that's not the question. That's not the question of the podcast. The question of the podcast is, who will win the Ballon d'Or in 2025? Since we both agree that who will win the Ballon d'Or in 2024 will be Vinicius Junior. So who's going to be winning in 2025? Who's the front runner right now in your thoughts, Rimedi?
It's tough. Like, obviously, some people say, I've heard a lot of people say Cole Palmer. That's what a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people say.
If I said Cole Palmer to win the Ballon d'Or in my Portuguese podcast, people would be saying, I'm going to go bold 100%. No, people are really critical about that thought process here in Portugal of Cole Palmer winning the Ballon d'Or. They really are. They even say Salah's better than Cole Palmer.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a strong opinion. But okay, if we look at the top players right now, Lamine Yamal, wow, great season he's having so far. Lewandowski, wow, great season he started off. Pedri, wow, it's a great season he started off.
Yeah.
From the Real Madrid side, you cannot really say one person is a standout so far. Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. These players, they could be there. From the Premier League, Again, it just depends on how well they do in the Champions League. So Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, maybe still. I don't know if his legs can take him that far
Oh,
from an Arsenal side.
If Erling Haaland's winning the Ballon d'Or, when he was the second runner, he won the Champions League and he won the Premier League. He at least has to do the same this season again if he's gonna win it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Erling Haaland, maybe someone from Arsenal, Saka, Rice. We have to see. We
Wait,
have
wait,
to.
wait, 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 wait. What's the DiCaprio meme? You said Saka to win the Ballon d'Or. You believe he's got that potential in him?
I think so. I think so. Like I said, it just depends on what Arsenal win. If Arsenal win the Premier League, if Arsenal go far in the Champions League, maybe. Who knows?
Mate,
Who
Rimedi,
knows?
first podcast we're doing together, and you're 100% going bold. To go with what you said, I think Lamine Yamal has that potential, and it's not unrealistic to say that Lamine Yamal, currently in 2025 Ballon d'Or contention, he's one of the top contenders right now. He really is. So for you, the top contenders for the Ballon d'Or in 2025, not 2024, Vini wins. It's Erling Haaland, Lamine Yamal, Cole Palmer, and the Real Madrid players Mbappe and Vini, no?
Of course. You can say that for sure.
And a cheeky Saka.
We like to put him there. I just like to put him there.
Absolutely love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Hit the like button if you're listening to episode 4 here with my guy Rimedi. It's been so enjoyable, mate. I'm hyped. This has been so high. Thank you, mate, for coming here to the FC Wonderkid podcast, season 2, Rimedi. It's been an absolute pleasure. Follow Rimedi on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Go bold with those subscriptions, people. He deserves it. He's just getting started. And yeah, once again, mate, you're going bold. Thank you for being here. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience, mate. Oh.
Thanks for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Yeah, got to go bold, people. Thank you.